The Galactic Military Academy's lecture hall fell silent as Professor Vexhi's four eyes swept across the assembled cadets. His chitinous exterior gleamed under the artificial lights as he gestured toward the holographic display floating above the podium. "Today we examine the most hostile worlds in known space," the Zephyrian instructor announced, his voice carrying the authority of someone who had witnessed the galaxy's darkest corners. "Worlds so brutal that evolution itself seems like a cosmic mistake." Cadet Zia shifted uncomfortably in his seat, sensing where this was heading. Around him, hundreds of alien cadets from dozens of species leaned forward with morbid fascination. His human physiology made him stand out awkwardly among the scaled, furred, and crystalline beings that filled the amphitheater. "Behold," Vexhi continued, "Kepler 442b, where acid rain dissolves unprotected flesh in minutes. Proxima Centauri C, where radiation levels would cook most species within hours." And then the display shifted, showing a blue-green marble suspended in space. "There is Earth." A collective shudder rippled through the audience. Even among the galaxy's warrior races, Earth had earned a reputation as a death world beyond compare. No intelligent species, Vexhi declared with absolute certainty, could possibly evolve on such a nightmare planet. The gravity alone, nearly twice standard galactic norm, would crush developing bones. The atmospheric composition is toxic to 70% of known life. The weather patterns are so violent they've been classified as apocalyptic by the Galactic Weather Service. Zia's jaw tightened. Beside him, Anna, a crystalline from the mineral-rich moons of Vega, noticed his tension and placed a supportive appendage on his shoulder. Her species communicated through harmonic resonance, and he felt her concern vibrate through his bones. "The predators on Earth," Vexhi continued with growing theatrical horror, "hunt in coordinated packs. The planet's dominant herbivores weigh several tons and travel in thundering herds that shake the ground for kilometers. Even the plant life is hostile. Some species actually consume flesh." Several cadets made sounds of disgust. A few of the more delicate species activated their personal atmosphere shields, as if the mere discussion might contaminate them. "The geological activity is constant," the professor went on. "Volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, tsunamis, hurricanes. Earth experiences more natural disasters in a single rotation than most worlds see in a century. The temperature variations range from -40 to +50 degrees Celsius. No cadet in this room could survive even a single day on such a world." That was enough. Zia's hand shot up. The lecture hall fell silent. Professor Vexhi's four eyes focused on the lone raised appendage, then traced down to identify its owner. The Zephyrian's expression shifted from confident authority to visible confusion. "Yes, Cadet." Vexhi consulted his datapad. "Cadet Zia." Zia stood slowly, his movements deliberate. At his full height, he towered over most of the assembled aliens, another uncomfortable reminder of his origins. "You claim no cadet could survive a world like Earth." "That is correct." "Then explain me." The words hung in the air like a challenge. Whispers began to spread through the audience as the implications sank in. Anna's harmonic frequency shifted to something like pride mixed with anticipation. Professor Vexhi's mandibles clicked nervously. Excuse me?" "I'm from Earth," Zia said simply. "Born in a city called Cairo, in a region that regularly sees temperatures above 45 degrees Celsius. I grew up playing in sandstorms that would strip the hide off most of these cadets. I've been struck by lightning twice, survived 3 separate volcanic ash clouds, and once spent 6 days trapped in a collapsed cave with nothing but rainwater to drink." The whispers grew louder. Several cadets began accessing their personal data units, cross-referencing Zia's file. "When I was 12, Zia continued, his voice carrying across the suddenly captivated audience, "my family took a vacation to the Sahara Desert, for relaxation. When I was 16, I climbed Mount Everest with my school's hiking club. We considered it moderate exercise." Professor Vexhi's skin had shifted to a pale gray, a sign of distress in his species. But that's impossible. The gravity alone. The gravity that crushed our ancestors into becoming the strongest species in known space? Zia smiled grimly. The toxic atmosphere that gave us the most efficient respiratory systems in the galaxy? The predators that taught us to hunt in groups so effectively that we became the apex predators of our entire world? He gestured toward the holographic Earth still rotating above them. Every challenge you just described, we didn't just survive them. We conquered them. We turned a death world into our playground. Anna's harmonic frequency shifted to pure admiration. Around the hall, cadets were frantically researching human physiology, their expressions ranging from disbelief to dawning horror. The weather you call apocalyptic? Zia continued. We call it Tuesday. Your impossible temperature variations? We vacation in places that reach those extremes. The crushing gravity? It's why every human in this academy can outrun, outlift, and outendure 90% of our classmates without breaking a sweat. Professor Vexhai seemed to have lost the ability to speak. His four eyes kept darting between Zia and the holographic Earth as if trying to reconcile the impossible reality before him. Here's what your textbooks don't tell you about Earth, Zia said, his voice growing stronger. It didn't just produce one intelligent species. It produced the most dangerous intelligent species. We didn't adapt to our world. We dominated it so completely that we had to leave it just to find a real challenge. He looked around the lecture hall, meeting the wide-eyed stares of his fellow cadets. So when you wonder how humans consistently top every physical training metric in this academy, when you ask why our ships are built to withstand impacts that would vaporize yours, when you question how we can eat foods that would poison most species, remember this moment. Zia sat down slowly, the sound echoing in the dead silence of the amphitheater. Remember that we're not just from a death world. We're from the death world, and we made it our home. The silence stretched for long moments before Anna's harmonic resonance filled the space, the crystalline equivalent of thunderous applause. Slowly, other species began to join in with their own expressions of acknowledgement. Clicks, chirps, subsonic rumbles, and bioluminescent displays. Professor Vexhai stared at his notes, then at the holographic Earth, then at Zia. Finally, he managed to speak. Well, he said weakly, perhaps we should revise the curriculum.